Welcome back to BabyTakes. As you can see, we are back together for a few days. And we are decked out in our Nebraska gear because this Friday we are going to see the Nebraska game against Iowa in Lincoln, and we are super excited about that. But as we promised, we are here with a trade deadline breakdown. It's been a little bit since the trade deadline, but this is the first chance we got. Since he was coming home, he had to pack and get ready and all that stuff. So yeah, definitely a crazy trade deadline for sure.
Yes.
Number one at each position getting traded left and right. Players going all in. Some players going full rebuild mode. Some players need to admit that they need to go full rebuild mode, but as it's already past the trade deadline, it's a little late. But we'll talk about that as we go. Here we go. First trade that really started all the madness was between Cooking Your Buns and Tom and the Boys. So Cooking Your Buns gets Jonathan Taylor. And this is one of the worst trades of the deadline, in my opinion, because Tom and the Boys get Cole Beasley, who has been cut, Tyler Lockett, who has since put up less than 10 points in both games he's played combined, Jamie McNichols, who has been cut, a third-round pick, a seventh-round pick, a ninth-round pick, and a 10th-round pick. And this is all for Jonathan Taylor, who, as we know, is the number one fantasy running back right now.
By far.
You got anything to say about this trade? I just don't want to look at it anymore. I think it's horrible.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, obviously at the time we didn't know how good Jonathan Taylor was.
Right.
So at the time I can see how maybe. But, I mean, just looking at it now.
Oh, my gosh.
It's a
just
shame.
Horrible.
It's a real shame. But, I mean, Tom and the Boys is notorious for being an idiot. So
Fair enough. So next one, back with Tom and the Boys, trying to fill that Jonathan Taylor void, Aaron Jones. And then he gives Lights Kamara action, gets Terry McLaurin, Jacoby Myers, a third-round pick, and a seventh-round pick. I think it's a good trade for both sides. Obviously, Aaron Jones, shortly after this trade was made, sprained his MCL. So that's not good for Tom and the Boys. But Lights Kamara action got a wide receiver 1 out of it. Jacoby Myers could be a good flex option.
And
Third-round pick and a seventh-round pick.
Yeah.
And that's what Lights Kamara action needs, is picks.
Yes.
Because as we've shown some trades that have happened, and he has given up so many picks. So all he needs to do is just reel back in picks. He's in the playoffs right now as it stands, but he's not on that higher echelon teams. And he's especially not on the echelon of teams as you're going to see. So
yeah, so this obviously sucks for Tom and the Boys to, think, okay, maybe I lost that trade before with Jonathan Taylor, but I can recoup with Aaron Jones, and then obviously never seeing that coming, MCL sprain. So not on him, just bad luck there.
Aaron Jones will be back. We'll see if Tom and the Boys are still in the playoff hunt after that. I know they're on a little bit of a skid, I'm pretty sure, but we'll see. Next, we got Get Swifty and Cooking Your Buns. Also involves Jonathan Taylor. So Get Swifty, yours truly, Jonathan Taylor, and a fifth-round pick. Cooking Your Buns gets Dalvin Cook, Marquise Brown, and a second-round pick from Calvin Young.
Which is
F those picks. Yep. So, yeah. I mean, I like to trade Jonathan Taylor a fifth-round pick. I think it's a little bit of an overpay for sure, giving up Dalvin Cook, Marquise Brown, and a second-round pick. But I think that it didn't really matter because Marquise was on my bench. And then Dalvin, obviously a good running back, but Jonathan Taylor was looking better. And in a keeper league, he's younger, hasn't gotten injured, knock on wood. And obviously just put up 50 points last week. So I think overall, Cooking Your Buns probably wins the trade for this year. But I think Get Swifty came out pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think overall. And that second-round pick, I would say, is
it's pretty much a third-round pick.
Pretty much a third-round pick. But, yeah.
Yeah. Next one. Cooking Your Buns and F them picks.
Was there a three-way trade?
There was. I didn't put it in because it really didn't change anything. Nobody big got traded in it.
I think it was just
a bunch of swaps and picks, and it was just too confusing. It was between Cooking Your Buns, the Emporia Eagles, and CD's Nuts, I think.
No.
Or was it Lights Kamara action?
It's a Sea Fleece. which is
right, which is Lights Camera Action. Will, which is
And-
Emporia Eagles, and then Gabe,
Yeah, no,
which is Cooking Your Buns.
yes.
I think D-Hop was in there, but he hasn't played.
Okay, this is what I think. 2 out of 3 of those people don't really know how to trade.
Right.
One of them does, and I think those other 2 saw a 3-way trade and either panicked and accepted it,
Yeah.
or just thought it'd be cool. I don't know.
Right.
So I'm thinking that I don't remember names now.
Lights
Gabe.
Camera Action, Cooking Your Buns is Gabe.
Gabe is Cooking Your Buns.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he won the trade.
He took advantage of some
Yeah, I think he
lesser-known
took
players,
advantage of some lesser
which
players.
one of these 2 people have done a lot in the league so far. Probably the one with 3 first-round picks
And 3 second-round picks.
without giving up a starter. So
And 2 third-round picks.
yeah. Okay. Cooking Your Buns and FDM picks. Big time. This is where we started seeing FDM picks really go all in for this year. So as you know, FDM picks is at the top of the league. I think he's 10-1. He's already got Austin Eckler, Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, and this is what he added. So he gave up Calvin Ridley, Damian Harris, Michael Pittman, 2022 first-round pick, 2023 first-round pick, 2023 second-round pick, and a 2022 fourth-round pick for Robert Woods, who's out. He's done for the year. Christian McCaffrey, and 2 fifth-round picks from 2022 and 2023. So overall, he gives up this year's first-round pick, next year's first-round pick, and next year's second-round pick, and then a fourth-round pick from this year for Christian McCaffrey. This was wild. This is where everyone said, made the decision, I'm either all in for this year or I need to sell. Because this made his team unbeatable, and it gets even crazier.
But it's not. I don't think it is unbeatable.
It's not unbeatable. But yeah, it's...
I mean, if you
It's
think about
pretty
it,
crazy.
McCaffrey's injury prone.
Right. But when he's not, he's putting up 30.
Yes, but I mean, you got Saquon is on his team, right?
Saquon's on his bench. He doesn't even use Saquon.
Yeah, but injury prone.
Right. Okay. Yeah, but he did some other trades that we'll talk about. But next we got Cooking Your Buns and 4th down disease. His truly. Cooking Your Buns gets Christian Kirk, Debo Samuel, Jerry Jeudy, AJ Green. 4th down disease gets Marquise Brown, Damian Harris, Michael Pittman, Elijah Mitchell. At the time of this trade, it looked pretty even, but now it's looking like 4th down disease with Marquise Brown, Michael Pittman, who's been going off, Damian Harris coming back healthy, and Elijah Mitchell has been pretty good, actually. And then Cooking Your Buns, pretty sure, has dropped Christian Kirk since this. He might still have AJ Green. He might have traded him. It might be later in the video. But, yeah, definitely Debo's the biggest piece here. But for Debo, you get Marquise Brown and Michael Pittman. I think it's with that alone would be good. So definitely with all their stuff, I think 4th down disease definitely won this trade. Next one, another big-time trade by F Them Picks and Get Swifty. So F Them Picks said, I want Lamar Jackson. So Get Swifty ended up getting Justin Herbert, a first-round pick from 2024, a second-round pick from 2024 for Lamar Jackson. I think this is an easy win for Get Swifty.
Yeah, I
F
mean,
Them Picks gets Lamar. I mean, obviously the better quarterback, but Get Swifty gets Justin Herbert, a first-round pick, yes, in a couple years, and then a second-round pick in a couple years. But I mean, I think this is an easy pull the trigger.
absolutely.
trade.
I mean, I would almost think Justin Herbert for Lamar right now. I mean, Lamar's not doing great right now.
Well,
And
Lamar's
Herbert's going
been-
off.
Right, Lamar has had an illness. He's projected as the number 1 quarterback this week as he faces the Browns, who have teetered a little bit. But yeah, I mean, quarterback's value is hard to gauge because you can have a great quarterback and a good quarterback, and that value is not really that much different. So I think a first and a second plus a really good young quarterback, easy pull the
Oh,
trigger
absolutely.
for.
Yeah.
So next one, Cooking Your Buns and CD's Nuts. Cooking Your Buns gets Keenan Allen and Chase Edmonds. Chase Edmonds has been on IR for a long time, so this is kind of a throw-in, kind of a stash for the future. Chase Edmonds actually ended up getting dropped, picked up by waivers by Get Swifty. So CD's Nuts for Keenan Allen and Chase Edmonds gets Elijah Moore, who's been going off. Michael Carter, who was going off before he got hurt. AJ Green and a 3rd-round pick. Really, this is for, at the time, it was for a 3rd-round pick. CD's nuts is, and I think he's still in the playoff picture, but he's not really in the playoff picture. So this is really for the 3rd-round pick, and you get some young talent that could blossom and still be good, which Elijah Moore and Michael Carter have been. I think AJ Green.
Yeah, how many times has AJ Green been traded in this league?
A lot.
Ridiculous amounts.
Right, and I think he's been cut just as many times.
Yeah, just dropped.
I think he's just a throw-in player for a roster spot at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Nothing crazy going on here.
Yeah.
This was another crazy one. So Get Swifty decides he needs to go all in, and he gets Travis Kelce and Stephon Diggs for DK Metcalf, Dawson Knox, a 2022 first and a 2022 second. I think this is a good trade. You get an upgrade, obviously, Dawson Knox to Travis Kelce. Upgrade, DK Metcalf to Stephon Diggs. Yes, you still throw in the 1st and 2nd-round pick, but I think Travis Kelce and Stephon Diggs are keeper-worthy players. So I think those picks don't mean much, and they're good enough players where you feel comfortable giving up those picks.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, like, having all my picks, probably could have.
You could have been aggressive.
I could have been very aggressive and probably had the top team.
Right.
Hands down, run away, miles away with that.
But you didn't want to jeopardize anything to happen in the future. Because, let's say, F them picks obviously has the top team right now.
Yes,
Probably.
but one slip up, right?
One injury, and he doesn't win this year, all those picks are gone for nothing.
Exactly.
I mean, yes, he can still keep the top 4. He probably has close to the top 4 fantasy players in all of it on his team. So he could probably keep those, but around that,
he'll have no supporting cast.
Right,
exactly. So, and I was like, I'd rather have 4 very good players and a very good supporting cast than the best 4 players
and
nothing around.
Right.
Because 1-2 injuries in those best 4 players. I mean, you go from possibly 1-loss, 2-loss team winning the title the first year to the second year possibly being the worst team in the league.
Okay, I don't think you can be the worst team in the league, but definitely.
I mean, because you have nothing.
He's gonna have 4 of the best fantasy players.
Yes, but
then around it, yes, he
one
won't
of which is very injury prone.
Right. But then he's also got Saquon, who's injury prone, yes, but I don't see him.
And one's a quarterback.
3 years in a
one's
row.
a quarterback. So
I don't think he'll keep a quarterback. I think he'll probably keep Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, Austin Eckler, Christian McCaffrey. So yeah, I guess he won't have Saquon, but yeah, I mean you got 4 guys right there that are going to score 20 points every week if they're healthy.
Yes, absolutely.
So, yeah, I don't think it's a bad move on his part. I think it's a risky move, but I see why he did it for sure.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
So,
I mean, yeah, I took thought about it. I thought about because I was like, man, like I could get anyone I want, and I could pretty much trade for an entire team here. Yeah. But I was like, but imagine, like what can I really do with these all these picks? So yeah.
So this. We're kind of rounding out the trade deadline here. Zika virus and cooking your buns. Zika virus gets Cordero Patterson, Deebo Samuel, a 1st-round pick from 2022 and a 2nd-round pick from 2022. For Derrick Henry, Darrell Williams, a 5th-round pick from 2022 and an 8th-round pick from 2022. Now.
This is after Derrick Henry got injured.
Yes. Listen. Zika virus. I don't know if Zika virus won the trade. Derrick Henry is an automatic keeper every single year. He's the number 1 running back this year if he doesn't get hurt.
Yes, but he got a 1st and a 2nd and Deebo.
But Derrick Henry's not going to be available. Deebo, is he a keeper?
I mean, dude, he's put up multiple times 30.
Yeah, in the first 4 weeks. What's he done since then?
He's put up big numbers.
He's put up average numbers. Cordero Patterson was hurt last week.
And Zika virus is in the playoffs. He's brought this team back.
No, he's not in the playoffs right now.
He's on the verge of breaking in
the playoffs.
And so he's got to get there.
Right. I mean, I see why he did it, for sure. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think Cooking Your Buns said, I'm probably not going to win it all this year. but he still wants to get a big-time name at the trade deadline, so he traded his first. I don't know if it was his first and his second. I actually don't think it was, now that I think about it, but for a guy that's definitely going to be on the team next year, and Derrick Henry, Darrell Williams, I think he's been cut because of Clyde Edwards-Helaire coming back, and then a 5th-round pick and an 8th-round pick as well. I don't think it's a terrible trade. I think it's a pretty even trade, especially what both teams are trying to do at this point. That was the last trade of the trade deadline. I think I may have missed one, but I'm not sure. I remember this is all to win the Hot Streak Fantasy Football Championship trophy in 2021. All of this. So we got F them picks going all in, obviously.
Pull up the league here.
Okay, let's pull up the league real quick. We'll go over some standings, some recent games. Last week was insane. I know one team went over 200 points. One more team was close to going over 200 points. So it's pretty crazy. Weekly report. Oh, it just lists it.
You can click on it. Maybe not.
No, okay, so, yeah, we'll just go over some of the things that happened last week, because we missed last week with the trade deadline. So the best manager was Generette22, which is Get Swifty, put up 203 points. That's because of yours truly, Jonathan Taylor, going off for 50. DeAndre Swift had like 22. Stephon Diggs had a good game.
Herbert had a very good game.
Herbert had over almost 40, but yeah. Worst manager was Fourth Down Disease. Yours truly only put up 92 points. Who'd you lose to?
Caden.
Yeah, you lost to Lights Kamara Action. Yeah, I can just pull that up, actually. Yeah, you lost to Lights Kamara Action.
Yeah, somehow I didn't
40.
see. Somehow I didn't. I mean, and
Almost
so my
50.
best possible lineup wouldn't have beat him.
Right.
So I still would have lost. But somehow I didn't see that a guy was starting a guy that was out. So
Fair enough. So A Burko 2, the only.
But yeah, I mean, I was on a 6-game win streak before that.
You were hot.
I had the big Flames.
You had the big Flames. Now there's only a couple teams with Flames.
And the little Flames.
Actually, mine are getting pretty big.
No, they're not big Flames yet. They're faded right now.
Okay. A Burke 02 had the narrowest victory, beating Zika virus by 4. Highest score, Generette22, Get Swifty, 203 points. Lowest score, Cooking Your Buns with 84 points. Get Swifty overachieved their projection by 35%. They're only projected 150, which is still crazy. Below expectation, Gabe D was projected 132, only scored 84. Best QB was Aaron Rodgers, scoring 40. Best running back was Jonathan Taylor, scoring 53. Wide receiver, Justin Jefferson, scoring 37. Tight end, 18. Travis Kelce. Kicker, Nick Folk. So basically, Get Swifty had the best running back, best tight end, and the best kicker. So
and
and the best bench warmer, which Kirk Cousins put up 30, which wouldn't even top what Justin Herbert had. You had the best bench warmer and the running back, Myles Gaskin, putting up 18. Probably would have been better than the guy that didn't even play.
But it still wouldn't have.
Elijah Moore put up 29 on the bench. Zach Ertz put up 28 on the bench. But yeah, it's been crazy. Let's just go over the top teams standings. So we got F them picks 10-1. Get Swifty moving up to second place after the loss from Fourth Down Disease. 9-2. Fourth Down Disease 8-3. Then it drops off.
But all three of those have clinched playoffs so far.
Right. The top 3 teams have clinched playoffs. Tom and the boys at 6-5. Cooking Your Buns at 4-7. So another drop off. There's only 5 teams with a winning record. Cooking Your Buns 4-7. Zika virus just behind him at 3-8. Emporia Eagles 3-8. Emporia Eagles might have the best turnaround. They were 0-7.
Yes. Are they?
And now they're 3-8. No, they're not on a streak anymore because
They
they lost to Get Swifty last week. CD's Nuts 3-8. A Burke 0-2 3-8. So that is the wrap up of the fantasy league, the BabyTakes fantasy league. Yeah, that's all I got for the fantasy league. We're going to Lincoln on Friday. We'll see if we'll do something for that. But yeah, that's all I got. You got anything? Oh, Pick'em will be out this week as well. And obviously Nebraska, Iowa will be on there as well.
Yeah.
That's it?
That's it for me.
All right. We will see you guys next time.